Hello and welcome to the London Club, where today we're testing Titleist's new 716 range of irons. And in my hands here I have the new MB, and as you can see, it's absolutely stunning. This is Titleist's latest blade design, and as with any blade that you'll find out on the market, there's not a whole host of new technology to talk about, but there are a couple of little things to mention. Firstly, Titleist have increased the height of the muscle back in the back of the head. Now that should help that solid contact, that sort of feel through impact that the better player is looking for. Now Titleist have also worked slightly on the shaping of the head. The toe area is slightly squarer and the top line is a little bit thinner than in previous generations, and actually that makes this look and feel at a dress a little bit more traditional. The only other thing to mention is a new shaft that Titleist are introducing here. It's a dynamic gold shaft and it's called AMT, and AMT stands for Ascending Mass Technology. Essentially this means that in the longer irons the shafts are slightly lighter, which should help people to get the ball up a little bit easier with the longer irons, whereas as you move down into the shorter irons they're slightly heavier for that little bit more control. So as I say, we've got the GC2 launch monitor, we've got the irons here, let's give them a go. I think the first thing to say, certainly in the mid and the short irons, the look at a dress is absolutely perfect for me. I think the blade length, the amount of room there is between the hosel and the end of the toe is quite large actually. So whilst the top line is very, very thin and it is incredibly traditional, for me it didn't look at all difficult to hit, because you look down on it at a dress and you've got plenty of face area to hit. And I think that's a really great thing. It makes these shorter irons really feel like you can go at them, you can swing pretty hard at them, and they'll play how you want them to. I don't know if you can hear the sound through the microphones, but the sound is absolutely spot on. Absolutely. If you were starting from scratch, asking somebody to design a blade, that's the sound that you'd be working from, I'm sure it is. That one's come flush out the middle. 182. Yeah, very good. Okay, so I'm going to hit a few shots now with the 5-iron, and certainly from my earlier testing that I did on the range, I'm going to be completely honest and say I didn't have a whole load of success with this. I did struggle with my consistency, and that's purely because looking down on it at a dress, the combination of lack of offset and the thin top line starts to look very intimidating to me as you get into that really high-end part of the bag. Obviously I've hit that one perfectly, which is probably the first time I've done that today. That's gone 193. I mean, I did hit that one really well, but it just goes to show that the performance on offer here is pretty solid. So the Titleist 716 MB irons, as you can see from my testing, I've been really impressed with them, but let's be honest, they're not for everybody. I think if you look at the whole Titleist iron range as a whole, from AP1 right down to the MB irons, you'll find much more forgiveness and playability for the vast majority of players elsewhere within the range. But if you are somebody that is looking for the ultimate in control, and by that I mean control of ball flight but also control of distance, then the MB irons are well worth a test. If it was my own choice, I probably wouldn't have the long irons in the bag. I much prefer the TMB long irons. They just felt so much easier to hit. I think the lack of offset and that really thin top line, the combination of the two when you start to get into the longer irons makes it quite tough to hit for me. But for the better ball strikers out there, they will also add to that level of control that you're looking for from these. One thing I would say is these feel absolutely fantastic, just as good as anything else I've ever hit. I think bringing up the muscle back in the back of the head just makes them feel so solid, and the really thin sole gets through the turf. A fantastic bit of work from Titleist. Anyone who tests them is going to love the great shots they hit. It's whether you can manage the bad ones. So if you are interested, the RRP of the steel shafted version is 117 and the graphite version is 133. They're on the shelves soon, so keep an eye out.